Hello and welcome to Off Script, the podcast with myself, Hannah Bowman, where we talk all about reality TV. And oh my God, guys, I am freshly living in fear. Well, not really. But Tyson just commented on one of my reels on Instagram. So first of all, hey Tyson, glad you know who I am. Second of all, how the hell does he have his social media access back? Like, I'm looking at his account and he's changed his, like display picture, and all of his pictures from his time on MAFS are gone. Like, the only thing that remains about MAFS is an interview of him, like, talking about MAFS that is collabed with Ali from the Daily Mail and then Daily Mail and a few other like MAFS things. So everything else is gone. Like, his thing still says participant on MAFS, but yeah, kind of crazy. But yeah, he commented on my reel and he said, quote, "What the fuck?" So that's fun. Love that for me. Yeah, good to have a fan in the house. And yeah, I can't wait to see which next MAFS contestant leaves a comment. So thanks for the support, Tyson. Now, into people that are still on MAFS. Good golly, Miss Molly. We have just had 2 nights of what I would consider just absolute carnage. Is this show about love anymore? Absolutely not. So they're on the couples retreat, and obviously Becca said a little joke that has not landed well. Rachel has tried to set a boundary in regards to it, and Beck can't really understand and hasn't listened. Do I think Rachel's completely, valid in what she's saying? Valid in setting the boundaries, but also she's really, really sensitive, which that's fine. But I think when you've got 2 ends of the spectrum, someone like Beck that has no social cues when it comes to those type of settings, puts her foot in it constantly and then can't see anyone else's point of view, mixed with someone who really takes things super personally, it's obviously just going to turn into a storm. And like the constant pulling aside and trying to chat it through, like I just want to say to Rachel, babe, walk away. Like, you're not going to be able to reason with Beck when she's upset like that and when she's trying to be defensive and not understanding why everyone's coming for her. But Beck, you just got to shut your mouth, girlfriend. Like, yeah, it was one thing to say the comment, but then to talk about the merch and the this and the that, that's when it just became obviously absolute chaos. And I said it, I predicted it when I spoke about it before. I said, couples retreat always brings the drama. The other person bringing the drama that we just need to talk about is Juliet. What are you doing? First of all, on the commitment ceremony, why the hell she would want to write stay after what she did at the dinner party and the way she has treated Joel and the way she has spoken to him, it can only come down to wanting screen time, because there is no version of reality where Juliet and Joel end up together or could come back from her treating him the way she treated him. Like, I was the first to have a laugh and say he was annoying and all of that stuff. And yes, I stand by that. Could I be married to him? No. Do I think it's okay to be horrible to someone just because you don't like vibe with them? Of course not. And she was honestly just like horrible, disgusting to him at that dinner party. And when they were doing all the like intimacy challenges and everything. So the fact that she is sitting there saying, oh, we're going to stay and, like there's potential for us. Like, what potential, babe? Potential for you to stay longer? And I feel like Gia has to be in her ear being like, babe, stay. Like, we'll have the couples retreat next week. Like, it'll be fun. Stay. Like, stay on the show a bit longer. Because it's not about love. And the fact that at the couples retreat on the second night, we saw Juliet, the language that she uses, especially towards other people, and especially in situations where it felt like she was fighting someone else's battle. It's like, why are you this passionate and vicious over this situation? Like, it just, none of it makes sense. I mean, Joel just sitting there with that look on his face, and then it cutting to his Voxy and him being like, I've felt what it feels like for her to treat me like this, so I don't condone her treating others like this, but then not saying anything to her. I think that will be super telling to see if he ends up actually addressing it with her, because surely he's not sitting there thinking, yeah, babe, go, this is the chick I want to be with. Like, no, absolutely not. So yeah, first time feeling sorry for Joel. And yeah, there's people coming at me on some of my older reels where I was like, you know, defending Beck a little bit, being like, she showed up on the Stan show, she's apologized for how bad she was at the dinner party, she's been accountable, and now she's like doubling down and like being this kind of intense version of herself again. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not defending her so much now, but yeah, gosh, golly gosh. The other person that's obviously in the middle of it all is Danny, who I really didn't like the sass he was giving towards Rachel and Stephen on the first night when everything went down. And I don't know, it's painting him in a really interesting light just seeing how he's dealing with all of this, because he can't run away from the fact that like his wife is going to be this big personality. But the main person I'm feeling bloody sorry for is poor Steve-O, who, for Rachel to say, I feel like you've betrayed me, like, babe, are we 17? Like, I think she's 35. Him being like, oh, I had a 60-second conversation where I just tried to like squash things with Beck. And for her to be like, I cannot believe you didn't tell me. Like, that's where I think she gets a little bit too sensitive. Like, to use the language like you betrayed me or I feel betrayed, I think it's just a little bit too strong for poor Steve-O, who's literally just trying his best. Just trying his best. But then also for Juliet and Gia to just like take that so out of proportion from what Beck said in terms of Rachel and Stephen fighting. Oh my God, I can't keep up. It's actually just all too much. Gosh, how far into MAFS are we? Does anyone know when the end date is? I should know this. Sometime in April, I think. But it's just one of those things. You don't think it can get any crazier, and then you sit down and just the yelling on the TV goes to the next level. And I couldn't stop thinking, imagine if Brooke was there. Imagine if she had made it to couples retreat and she was there with Juliet. Like, it is very fortunate that those two never cross paths in the MAFS universe, because that would have been just too much. And I think also, like, we used to have these really funny moments on MAFS. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I think his name was Troy with his toothbrush and going crazy, and like people like that would just, I don't know, like good old fashioned entertainment. Versus now, this whole season has just been women yelling at each other. And you do get to a point where you do tune out a little bit, because it sounds like kind of brown noise, white noise, grey noise. I don't know what you say, but it just sounds like the same thing over and over and over. And can I just say, I honestly think the only person that is actually just like a sound character in this entire cast for this season is young Colin Firth, aka Gay Sam, because he is the only one that's reasonable, checks in with people, staying out of the drama. I mean, Chris, his husband, isn't part of the drama, but he's always like loving the goss. Versus I feel like Sam just sits back and kind of observes everything and then supports people where they need the support, which is nice to see. Oh, I'm exhausted. Okay, I'll chat to you soon. Bye.